You're fabulous.
Playing Frank Sinatra because I'm that old. So, all right. Well, good to see you all again. I'm going to do a quick introduction. Rick Geha, May 5th of this year, I celebrated 33 years selling houses, and I'm still doing it. So, well, that's not necessarily a good thing, right, Mr. Blevins? Is it? Good. All right, because I was showing property on Sunday, May 5th, which was my 33rd anniversary. I had a Chinese buyer in the car with me, great guy, I've known him for a while. And when I told him, he was kind of laughing, he goes, and then all of a sudden the smile just disappeared from his face. I said, what happened? He said, well, 33 years, should I say congratulations or I'm sorry? So, the reason I like coming to speak to you is because often when I'm speaking to you, I feel like I'm speaking to myself. Now, last time I got to speak up here, this room was packed. So I think people heard I was coming and said, let's not go this time. And the other thing, you notice I was sitting next to Susan Shaw, and she goes, how much time do they give you to speak? I said, I don't know, I'll be up by 9:25 and off by 9:30. So, I have, every time I'm getting ready to speak anywhere, I get the opportunity to be educated. Last night I had dinner at Bridges with a friend of mine who I'd met through real estate, and she's no longer in real estate, she's in the nonprofit world. And she gave me a book for a gift last night. How many of you have ever heard of a book, I don't have that book here, so this question doesn't relate to the book I've got, called Oh, the Places You Will Go by Dr. Seuss? Raise your hands if you've heard of it. Okay, if you have not heard of it, I need you to write that down. It's called Oh, the Places You Will Go. It's written by Dr. Seuss. It's probably one of the best gifts you can give your adult friends. Now, I mean that. I'd love to tell you that everybody that you know under the age of 12 should get that book from you. I also think that adults could read this and get much more out of it. Now, I gave that book to my son when he graduated from 8th grade, and he's 27, and he's been on this path to get a 4-year degree for 10 years. And he will graduate at his 28th birthday with a 4-year degree in kinesiology. Now, in between, don't clap at that, Susan, please. It's very painful from the pocketbook perspective. Why am I saying all these things? There's a point to this. There isn't a day that goes by where somebody in this room, me or you, looks in the mirror and says, oh my gosh, I thought I would be so much in a different place at this time of my life. Like I thought, I had so many other dreams for myself. This isn't what I thought it would look like. Now, what I want you to think about for a moment is, have you ever said that and had it be the most joyous comment of your day? Like look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, my life sucks. And we don't often say it that way, but here's the point. We all have dreams. We all have ideas about where we're going. What we lose in the perspective, what we lose in that dreaming, is how amazing it is right this minute. And see, what happens is we seem to have trouble, I do, I don't know about you, you get to decide for yourself, of having that be in the moment and enjoying both of those. Like being completely grateful and excited about exactly where I am today in my life, and still have wild, fantastic, amazing dreams about the future. Now, I got to tell you, in 2007, when I was partnered with Coco Lewis for a while, it was starting to click amazingly well. And I probably told some of you this story before. 2008, 9, and 10, I was out on the road speaking, which is my passion. If I had my druthers, it would be all I did. And I was out on the road speaking probably 2 or 3 times a week. I was on airplanes, I was getting, I get bumped to first class all the time because I flew so regularly. It was a blast. And what was I doing in addition to that? 2 to 3 hours a week. 2 to 3 hours a week, which is not a lot of time. I was lead generating from my hotel room wherever I was. Or wherever I was speaking, I'd say, hey, don't forget me for your Northern California referrals. And in those 3 years, 2008, 9, and 10, I earned between $130,000 and $160,000 a year in referral fees from my team, working about 3 hours a week in my real estate business. That's what I wanted. That was my dream. Coco Lewis and I had a little falling out. We're still best friends, but she went off and took the team and went away to her old company. So my dream didn't any longer look the way I thought it would look. So at the end of 2010, and a lot of you know this because you're like, some of you have said, when did you come back to selling and go home? So I got back at the end of 2010 and had to put my feet on the ground and really get back to work. And I had to survive 80% of the speaking that I did, so that I could continue to pay for my son's college and spousal support, all the fun things we pay for. So, and at the beginning, I was so disgruntled. I was upset. I was going through every day a bit pissy. Any of you go through a day like that? Jeannie, I know you've never been through a whole day pissy, ever. So what I realized is, wait a minute, I have the opportunity to do something different, to make it more amazing, to rebuild what I've had before. If I've done it once, I can do it again. And what do we get lost in? Instead, we get lost in the misery of the moment. My point today is not just about gratitude, which is the point I made last time I was up here, because it doesn't get made enough. That we have to stop in the moment, catch ourselves thinking these negative thoughts about where my day went. Yesterday I have an investor buys lots of property from me, flips it and sells a lot. I'm so grateful for him in my life. And yet yesterday he canceled 4 transactions that totaled $2 million in business. He canceled 4. Now he has that right, that's why he goes in, looks, can I do this, can I make this much money on? Canceled 4. And last night I realized, oh my gosh, I'm finally getting somewhere, because my girlfriend's in Toronto. She called me. She goes, how was your day? I said, it was pretty amazing. I lost $2 million in business, and I still had an amazing day. And I thought to myself, just before I went to bed last night, I go, oh my gosh, I'm getting there. I'm getting to the point where I can be grateful for the moment. Because something's going to come out of that. At the point that he was in those 4 contracts, he said, Rick, we're not buying anymore for about 30 to 60 days. All those 4 deals fall apart. He calls me up yesterday. He goes, I got 3 more I want to make offers on. There's that silver lining. So here's what I want you to think about. Any of you ever heard the phrase blessing in disguise? Blessings aren't in disguise. They're blessings. They're right there in front of you. And when you start looking at things, you've heard the saying, when you change the things you look at change. So start saying, how can I look at this from a different perspective? What's the solution that may be over here? Maybe I'm not looking over here. And what I want for me every day is to be working on that. I'll be 56 in September. And that I thought I was in good shape. And I used to relate good shape to being a certain weight. And what I found out was that certain weight, I still had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and things weren't going the way I thought they would in the health side of my life. Just one side. Let's just say there's 4 sides in your life. You got your physical, your spiritual, your emotional and relationships, and your business. Those 4 sides. I thought the physical side was cool. I played basketball once or twice a week. Today, at almost 56 years old, my doctor declared 3 months ago that I have never in my life, as far back as he can see, to my 19th birthday, been as healthy as I am today. Ever. Ever. Blood pressure, blood cholesterol, and weight and muscular tone. I've never in my life been able to do 30 push-ups without stopping, ever. I can do 40 now. 40. At almost 56 years old, I'm like, things can... What do you say? Now then I have to take my shirt off. That in a suit and tie. All right, so